Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Manoj Tyagi and wishing you all a very happy Diwali in advance. This is the fourth and final video in our Exploratory Data Analysis EDA series. Today's session is hands-on in Python, so I highly recommend downloading the notebook from GitHub and practicing with me. On high level, we will cover univariate analysis, bivariate analysis, and answer some practical questions under scenario-based analysis. If you are not familiar with Google Colab, check my earlier video where I explain how to use it. Let's first understand the data set. Here is our data set. Each row represents one family with these key variables. So family size, monthly income, which is monthly income, number of children, location type, urban, suburban, rural, has car, no or yes, education level max, maximum education level in the family, dining out, number of times they dine out or party, monthly expenses, total monthly expenses. Now let's first divide these variables into categorical, discrete and continuous as we discussed in video 1. Categorical variables, these were labels or groups, location type, urban, suburban and rural, has car, binary, 0 or 1, education level max, ordinal, high school, bachelors, masters, PhDs. Discrete variables, these are countable whole numbers like family size, number of children and dining out. Continuous variables, values that can take decimals such as monthly income and monthly expenses. Next step is to select the appropriate plot for each feature or comparing two features as we covered in previous videos of this EDA series. Univariate analysis, bar plots to use for categorical and discrete variables. Box and histogram for continuous variables. Bivariate analysis, numerical versus numerical scatter plot. Numerical versus categorical box plot. Categorical versus categorical stack bar plot. We will use Matplotlib and Seaborn libraries, which are nicknamed here as PLT and SNS, to draw these plots. After uploading the file, make a copy so original data stays safe. Then use head to get you the first 5 records, shape to get rows and columns, info to get data type details, and describe method to get a statistical summary for numerical columns. We also check for duplicates and missing values. This helps decide if we need data cleaning or type conversion. Moving forward, let's define a few helper functions. So first, histogram box plot. It combines a box plot and histogram for any numerical column. And why? Because together they show central tendency, which is mean and median, spread, IQR, whiskers, shape, skewness, and outliers. A box plot sits above the histogram, sharing the same x-axis, giving a full picture at a glance. An axis labeled bar plot, which displays bar plots with percentage or count labels above each bar. Great for categorical analysis. Now let's move on to the visualization part. First, univariate analysis. So monthly expenses, we can see that the data is right skewed with a few high spenders. Family size, mostly 3 to 6 members per family. Number of children, typically 0 to 2. It looks like the data is taken from modern families. Dining out, so right skewed again. Most families dine out 0 to 5 times, a few much more. Location type, so slightly higher rural representation. Car ownership, fairly balanced. Education level, bar plot shows even spread between levels 2 to 5. Second, bivariate analysis, so heat map for correlations. We exclude the target, so monthly expenses, first to check multicollinearity. So no serious issues. As we can see, the correlations are mostly below 0.7. Next, comparing with the target. Monthly income 0.678, so strongest correlation. Dining out 0.437, moderate correlation. Location type 0.35, mild correlation. Others like education level, max, Heiscar have weaker correlation. So income and dining out frequency are your MVPs for predicting expenses. So now you guys realize that why we need to do this analysis, because that tells the features which are really important for your further analysis in the model building. Now let's go for categorical comparisons. So car ownership versus location, higher in suburban rural areas, which is explainable. Education versus location, higher degrees concentrated in urban and suburban zones, so they get more opportunity to study. Family size versus car ownership, larger families tend to have cars. Numerical comparisons, so income versus expenses, scatter plot. So see the graph, clear upward trend, more income, more spending. This is a no-brainer. Expenses versus location, which we can see in box plot. Urban has more than suburban and suburban has more than rural. So cost of living effect. So education versus income, higher education tend to have higher median income. Has car versus expenses, car owners spend more. So because fuel cost, insurance, etc. Family size versus expenses, expenses rise with family size. So dining out versus expenses, and similar story here as well. A strong positive trend. And finally, let's do a few scenario based analysis. We will cover a few practical questions. So first, family with lowest expenses per person. So to address this or to answer this, let's calculate expense per person first and then find the minimum. Next question, top 5 families spending most on dining out as percentage. So first calculate dining out divided by monthly expenses and then take top 5. Third question is highest earning family without a car. So first we filter the data set for has car equals to 0 and then pick the highest income. And then average children by education level. So group by education level max and compare the data. Moving to the last question, car ownership by location for families with no children. So first filter number of children equals to 0, then cross tab for the location and car ownership categorical fields. And that wraps up our EDA hands-on session and the full EDA series. We explored data, visualized relationships, and derived insights, all step by step. In the next video, we will use this same dataset to build a regression model in Python from scratch. So if you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Drop your questions in the comments. I read and reply to all. Once again, happy Diwali in advance. See you in the next session.